All right, it's official, Kimeturamba. Yeah, if you're watching this as a recorded episode and not a live show, unajua that Kimeturamba. So this is what happened. We are hosting Obinna Show live, interviewed a couple of inspirational and motivational figures. Everything is happening live. It gets the time when you're hosting Mheshimiwa Babu Owino, gets here on time, chills down immediately after Arrowboy, which was live, by the way. And the episode is there. If you haven't watched, check it out. We sit down. We're about to go live. CK clicks on the live button. Not working. Yeah, you can see the video. I posted it on my Instagram and Mheshimiwa Babu's Instagram and on my Facebook and my TikTok as well. So kikaturamba. We try to refresh, restart a couple of times. Tukakasirikiana hapa. Tunasema kwani umelipwa nini? Nothing is happening. We try with CK's YouTube. It's going live. We try with mine. It's not going live. We are not operating on Obinna TV because pia uko pia tumefanyiwa ile kitu. So we are on Obinna TV Extra. Pia tumefanyiwa ile kitu. So we cannot go live. So, sorry guys, we tried. But we are still fighting the good fight. We are still here. Mheshimiwa is still waiting. Karibu. Thank you for the patience.
Thank you, Obinna.
Kwani kumendaje?
Leo kumekuwa kubaya kwa sababu I can see the government is already scared. Wamekufanyia ile kitu.
Ni wewe ndio umetufanyia. Na watu walikuwa wameniwarn. Wakanambia watu nimeanza kuleta kwa kipindi kitaniramba.
Hapa naye imekuramba kwa sababu serikali now I know they are scared because of the finance bill.
Yeah.
They are scared and the type of personality that is before you
True.
Is not scared of them.
True.
And that is why they are scared.
We?
Yeah.
Unajua mimi sijaipigwa na serikali. Okay, nimeipigwa kofi na polisi. So hivi ndo venye kuna kuwa.
So ni hivyo, hao ndio wako na the tools of violence.
Yani silently. Kidogo tu stream kia haifanyi. But kwa hizi pages zingine naenda live na watu wengine zinafanya lakini za Obinna zote hapo. Hivyo ndo venye ufanyiwa.
Hivyo ndio wana operate but nonetheless tuna proceed tu.
We proceed.
Napiga hii kipindi iendelee.
We move regardless.
Yes. People guys will get it kwa YouTube.
Yeah, you're going to get it on YouTube.
Yes.
And if you don't get it on YouTube, you'll get it on TikTok. If you don't get it there, you'll get it on WhatsApp. It has to happen because the finance bill is happening. Tomorrow is not the voting day.
Tomorrow will not be the voting day.
Okay.
Actually, it depends on the readiness of the committee, the finance committee. If they are ready by tomorrow, then they will have to table it tomorrow. Then debates will start. Immediately the debate starts, voting now will take place.
Okay.
That is at the discretion of the Speaker of the National Assembly. Okay. But lazima tuwe rada kwa sababu hata hiyo kesho wanaweza sema there is no voting for members not to go there. Then after that they bring it on the floor. So members of parliament waende tu bunge. Sisi tukae ready, hata nimenunua blanketi na mattress. I'll be sleeping there for all those days. I'll be sleeping there for all those days.
You saw that thing that happened. There was another situation. Was it the finance bill ama was it BBI? There was something that amukukua. I think you were not in parliament.
Yes.
And a couple of MPs were not there. Then it was...
Actually, what happened was simple. We went to parliament and then we did the debates. Then the Speaker himself made communication and said that voting will take place the day after that day, the following day. Then after members left, they brought in the
order,
the voting.
Members have left, now let's vote the three of us.
Yeah, so it was during the second reading stage, but there's also the committee of the whole house.
Okay.
The third reading stage.
Okay.
Where again it is a very important voting. So voting will take place twice, the second reading stage and the third reading stage.
Okay.
Yeah, which both of them are important and urgent.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's break it down to Awanjiko, a common mwananchi who does not understand how a bill is passed and how it gets to that process. What is the procedure before it gets hapo kwenye muipitishe?
Number one, the process of bill making is very simple.
Okay.
So we start with the committee stage.
Okay.
Then the committee stage works on a bill, introduces it on the floor of the House.
Okay.
After introduction, then we go to the second reading stage where we do the debating. Okay. And then the third reading stage, then the presidential assent. President signs the bill into an act, into a law. Okay. So that is a simple process of the bill making process in Parliament. Okay. Yeah.
What percentage does it take to pass the bill? The floor, how is it split? on the people voting?
Normally, there are different types of bills that comes before the floor of the House. There are certain bills that requires 2/3 of the House. There are certain bills that just require a simple majority to be passed. So, like this one will just require a simple majority voting.
Oh, this one?
Yes,
The
just
finance
voting, the finance bill.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, there you have it. But karibu sana. We're going to break it down because there's a day. But before that, Embakasi kukuaje?
Embakasi Republic iko top as usual. That's a republic.
That's a republic
it has
on
a
its
supreme
own.
leader. The supreme leader is called Dr. Babu Owino.
Oh, doctor twice?
Doctor twice. One from Weldios University in Benin, the Republic of Benin. Another one from the House of Lords, City University from Paris. The house and the conferment was done in the House of Lords in London, United Kingdom. So it is Doctor. Yes.
Doctor twice. Doctor raised to power 2.
Squared.
Most of the time you always talk about your academic qualifications, but some academic dwarfs, they don't know. Let's take it back. Degrees, ngapi?
Degrees are now 4.
Okay.
Doing the 5th. So the first degree is actuarial science.
Actuarial science.
First class honors.
Okay.
Second degree is masters in actuarial science.
Okay.
Third degree is LLB law. Degree in law.
Okay.
Second class upper division.
Okay.
Fourth is masters in law, LLM. The first masters is public international law. Then a second masters, which is a third masters in overall. Second masters in law again. Right now taking law, democracy and governance. Then 6 diplomas. Okay. Just acquisition of knowledge. That's why we want to dispense knowledge here carelessly from the basket of knowledge.
That is the plan. That is the plan. So now you said you're doing the 5th one.
Yes.
Still UN?
Still UN at the University of Nairobi.
Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty. Now you guys can see that the person that we are hosting is an intellectual. This is no child's play. Okay? Embakasi, I've seen you've done everything. Sasa the next MP. If you know, you know. Unataka afanye?
Maybe he'll just be traveling.
Yeah, because me, I'm looking at the roads, Nangalia, Nini. I'm like, okay, so if Babu is doing all this, then what is the plan for the next regime?
You know, development does not end. One thing leads to the other, and development of infrastructure does not end. There are a lot of challenges still in Embakasi East Republic, ranging from challenges of roads, poor road network within the area. I've done around 80 roads, fully tarmacked. Still roads are challenges. Provision of fresh and clean water, still having a challenge. And very soon, this is going to be a thing of the past because we are working on the water supply. Water that shall be pumped away from Muranga, from the dams in Muranga, to Gigiri, then to Embakasi Garrison, where we have a water reservoir. The water reservoir is connecting around 14 million liters of water that shall be distributed within Eastlands in Nairobi, and also the western part of Nairobi, the westlands also. So generally within Nairobi. Some challenges of school fees in form of bursary issuance. You know, we have challenges when our parents cannot raise these fees, so we have to come in. There are challenges of sewerage and sanitation that must be sorted on a regular basis and maintenance on a regular basis. We have challenges of unemployment that must be sorted. You cannot probably provide jobs to everybody at a go, but pole, things will just be okay. Yeah, so those are some of the few challenges that we are still experiencing within Embakasi East Republic, but we've done a lot also. We've done a lot. We've done most of those things on the ground, and we are still planning to do a lot. Yes.
Is there one thing that you would remember top of mind that you really wanted to do for Embakasi before you were elected, and you did it, and you're like, yes, this one was one of the main?
I've been concentrating on doing handling several matters of concern.
Okay.
Because road is a main challenge. Road network, poor road network is one of the main challenges in Embakasi East constituency. That we have done.
Okay.
And you go there, you will see. Our children going to school. Right now, I'm constructing a secondary school.
Okay.
Starting another construction of a primary school in Tasia. This one is in Donham. In the next 5 months, this secondary school will be done.
Okay.
Okay. We'll construct another primary school at Utawala, a public primary school.
Okay.
So generally, we've done amazing job in Embakasi's constituency. It's not about one thing that I want to be remembered with, but I want to be remembered as a leader who did several things which were good and transformed the lives of the residents of Embakasi East constituency.
Okay.
Yes.
If you had a chance, would you consider another term as an MP?
Why not? Why not? Because those are my people. That's my family.
Okay.
Embakasi East is my family.
That's home.
That's home, and home is home. East or west, home is the best.
Yes, yes.
So it doesn't matter. It's only that there's also ambition.
Yeah.
And too much ambition is dangerous. However, too little takes a man nowhere. So definitely you must be ambitious.
True.
Yes.
True. I hear you. Aye, on the other side, family ikoaje?
Excellent. Family, we are okay. My wife and kids. And
Yes.
at least I really want to thank God for having given me an amazing wife.
Okay.
Beautiful physically, beautiful at heart. Happy wife, happy life.
Oh, you also subscribe to that one?
Yes.
You might give us our mambo iko sawa.
Definitely, Obinna. You know, people talk about, some people say, oh, marriage is a scam, marriage is what?
Yeah.
But they haven't known what marriage is. They don't know what to handle within a marriage setup.
Institution, yeah.
Within the institution of marriage.
Marriage, yeah.
And marriage, as per the definition of law, first of all, is a union between a man and a woman, to the exclusion of all others. But you see, the moment you handle the institution of marriage, the moment you understand your wife, the moment she understands you, the moment you understand your children, then things become perfect and proper.
Okay.
People always say that learning a woman is very difficult. Women are the easiest people to learn. Number one, just appreciate them.
Okay.
Number two, give them time. Spend quality time with them. Number three, communication. Communicate with them perfectly well. Number four, date. Like the first day you met Obinna, let your wife be a going concern. Date your wife. Take them for coffee, take them for lunch, take them somewhere. It doesn't matter the place where you are taking them. The essence is spending time together, getting to know each other on a regular basis. Then mdishi vizuri. I didn't know how to
Kenya
put
power.
that, but
so supply electricity.
yes, supply power.
Power.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think once you do that, and then respect.
Yeah,
Respect
definitely.
your wife. Very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
If you are disagreeing, disagree to agree, not disagreeing to disagreeing. If you see somebody is going up, go down.
Okay.
Okay? If somebody is going down, go up. So that by the end of the day, if one is going up, you don't go up, because at least now you'll be having lots of wars within the family.
Yeah.
Then postpone fights. If you must fight, postpone those fights so that you solve them while you are sober and calm, collected, and handle issues. Then the financial bit of it is also a challenge within marriage.
Okay.
Finances, how do you handle finances within a marriage? That is also very important, how you can talk to your wife on how to handle the finances. But this, you can give me another show, around 4 hours.
Oh. Crash course.
To talk about marriage.
Marriage.
And family.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying that things are perfect, but the most important thing is that at least we can also assist Kenyans, at least to help them solve, come up with solutions within the institution of marriage.
Okay.
Yes.
As we wrap up on the marriage part and the family part, the way you are a busy man, I know you, I've known you for a very long while. You've said quality time. How do you get to spend time with your wife? Bro, you are too busy.
Obinna, I'm too busy, but I sleep at home. Right? And number two, you can't be too busy for an important thing in your life, for an important factor in your life, for an important person in your life. Okay. So time is created for anything important. For anyone important. So I create my time, I manage my time well within the family setup.
Okay.
That is the most important thing. Because Obinna, it is only within your family that you can't be replaced. Anywhere you are working, at your workplace, you can be replaced. You can be given a letter and told that you are fired.
That's
it is only in your family, in your house,
there's just be that dad.
where you can't be fired,
True,
right?
true.
Where your children know that that is our dad,
That's
and
our
they
dad.
can't replace you with another dad.
Yeah.
So the most important setup is a family. All these other things that we are doing is just temporal.
Okay.
And after all, here you are working here today because of family, Obinna.
True.
What you are doing here today, you are doing it
Family.
because of your family.
Yes.
Therefore, what is the need of you spending all your lifetime making money? And remember, as a man, your work is to provide. Provide financially, provide emotionally, provide hope, provide love. So the work of a man is to provide. So what do you do in the provision sector? You don't just provide finances only and say that this is sufficient.
Yeah.
That is not only enough. You must provide emotionally.
Okay.
Okay, so that there is no emotional neglect in the family.
True.
So generally, time is created, and I always create time for my family. That is the most important unit in my life.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go. There you have it. All right. With that off the window, can we now address the elephant in the room? So I knew you were coming. I did research. Nimeweka wapi research yangu? Ndio hii. So I did research on the finance bill, and I found a couple of matters that I saw that were really going to affect the economy and also affect the normal mwananchi. And I decided when you'll come, I'll try and I noted them down so that nisikuwe derailed, so that niende point by point. Nakuuliza, unajibu. So the finance bill has so much to do. The main area that's affecting a lot of people is on the taxes part. There's a lot of taxes that have been imposed on different products and services and everything. And I noted a few of them down. This is not all of them. This is a few of them. And I'd like to run them by Mheshimiwa so that we can see how they're going to be affecting us as a normal mwananchi and also the economy. Okay? There are about 16. Tuanze juu, tuanze chini. Ama anyhow. Tuanze na VAT. There's been value added tax on sugar cane transportation. Okay? Or let's just say value added tax on sugar cane. How is this one going to affect normal mwananchi? Because someone can say zile za mimi, kwani mimi na manufacture sukari. Mimi sasa mimi inaniingia aje hiyo story?
Yes.
Yes.
Kwanza Obinna, just to take you a little bit back when it comes to the issue of the tax.
Yeah.
We've seen many countries experiencing different revolutions at different times.
True.
In history, we know and we experienced revolutions which were caused because of the high cost of living, because of the oppression by the government.
True.
And these revolutions changed those countries, and those countries as at now, they are very developed. Were it not for these revolutions, these countries could have never developed because of the kind of leadership that were in those countries. Number one, because of oppression, because of high cost of living, there was the American Revolution. And during the American Revolution, that was headed by a gentleman called General George Washington. This was in the year 1765. Remember, in 1765, there was a revolution in America. The people who were spearheading this revolution was General George Washington, who was a president, who later became a president, sorry. There was Thomas Paine. There was Thomas Jefferson, sorry. And there was a gentleman called Hamilton, Alexander Hamilton. Okay. Those four people spearheaded the American Revolution because of oppression of the government. People were fighting for equality. People were fighting because there was no means of survival. Then you rush to the French Revolution, which is famously called the Boban monarch system. People were against the monarchy. People were fighting for three things: equality, okay, liberté.
Guys, come on, man. Stop giggling. I'm being serious right now. These are serious points.
And fraternité.
Okay.
That is equality, liberty, and fraternity. And that was in the year 1789. In this year, people were demanding for the cost of living to be favorable, just like we are demanding here in Kenya. The monarch system was headed by a gentleman called Louis XVI. Louis XVI had a wife called Marie Antoinette. What transpired is that when people were revolting, when people were asking for the cost of living to be reduced, people went and asked for the cost of bread, the bread that we will also discuss today, to be reduced. And what happened? When people said reduce the cost of bread, the wife to Louis XVI said that if you can't afford bread, why don't you eat cake? Even to her, it didn't matter to her what bread is. But you know, bread is food that is being afforded only by the people on the ground, you know? That is one thing that even the people on the ground can get. What about cake? Cake is a preserve of the rich. True. Okay, of those who have. Bread is a preserve majorly of those who don't have, although consumed by others too. When that happened, Obinna, there was a great revolution led by a gentleman called Maximilien Robespierre and Napoleon Bonaparte, the military genius. That gentleman, you know him. They decided to kill Marie Antoinette in the year 1793, was guillotined. 10 months later, after his husband Louis XVI was guillotined in the same year of 1793. That was in France. You go very fast to China. There was the Chinese Revolution, which is commonly known as the Peasant Revolution. The peasants, the mamamboga that we call today, the boda riders that we call today, against the Japanese. The revolution took place in the year 1949. The revolution was spearheaded by a gentleman called Chairman Mao Zedong, together with his other great friend called Deng Xiaoping. Then moved very fast to Russia. In Russia, there was a great revolution that took place in the year 1927. Bolshevik Revolution, when the then Russia was called USSR, as it was then known, headed by Vladimir Lenin and Joseph Stalin, kama mtu wake wa mkono, who later became a president, fighting against the oppression caused on the citizens, caused on the Chinese by the Japanese and the Koreans. Why did I bring this? Is because of the oppression that we are currently experiencing from Ruto's government. And I'm just trying to remind him that because of such oppression, a lot can happen. Because a common mwananchi on the ground is so hungry that they have nothing to lose but just the chains. That is the only thing they have to lose, is the chains. The chains. And we know that this world is so big and has a space for everyone, Obinna, but one greedy man. So if you are a leader and you are greedy, you have no space. Even if you are given the whole world, you will not be satisfied with it. And therefore, what we are experiencing right now is taxation without development. where we are being taxed, we don't know where the money goes to. From 1 year ago, we were taxed. 1.5 years ago, we've been taxed. Have you ever seen a complete 2-kilometer road in Kenya? Have you ever seen an infrastructure that has been developed successfully in Kenya? Apart from, save for the fact that you are told that tumeweka, tumetenga, tutafanya, Mungwana umesikia. Those are the things that we are being told. Obinna, this country is being messed up by this current regime, and we as leaders, we will not stand and watch, because the yoke of responsibility to help fellow Kenyans is resting on our shoulders, is resting on my shoulders, and therefore keeping quiet is not an option. We must both sing and we must swing at the same time. It is not just singing but no swinging. So Obinna, going back to
sugarcane,
Sugarcane.
VAT. We umetupatia history lesson. Mpaka kina Bonaparte. You guys have gone back to like, wait a minute, I've heard this name before. But that was brilliant. And then you have the dates. 18, 17, 19. I'm like, okay. All right. So thank you for that. So now let's come back to this. The finance bill, VAT on sugarcane.
So the 16% VAT put on sugarcane transportation.
Yes.
Obinna, this is going to be detrimental because the burden is going to be shifted on the shoulders of the farmers. The truck drivers that are going to be charged is going to be shifted on the farmers. But before going to that a little bit again, why are we taxing, why is the government taxing us, and what are different types of taxes that we have? Because we are talking on taxes. So
yes.
If we start from there,
yes.
Number one, we have a tax called income tax. Income tax is a tax imposed on those who are earning. The pay as you earn, the corporate tax. Okay? Then we have VAT. VAT is the value added tax. Value added tax is a tax imposed at every stage of production. And that tax, the burden is shifted on the consumer, the person consuming. Yeah. Okay? Then number three, we have the import duty. Import duty, these are taxes which are imposed on the goods which are imported. Then number four, we have the excise duty or the tax. Now, excise tax are always imposed to discourage consumption of certain goods, and some of these goods are meant for exportation. Okay? So we are good on that, right? Therefore, we come back to number one, that there is a VAT that has been imposed on sugarcane transportation. This is going to shift the burden to the farmer. Okay? Then the farmer will know that the cost of transport has gone high, up. What will the farmer do? The farmer will want to raise the cost of sugarcane. So as the farmer is supplying the factory or the industry that is now manufacturing this sugarcane into sugar, there are two things that will happen. At the industry level, one, the owner of the industry might decide and say that because of the high cost of sugarcane, therefore, I don't want your sugarcane. So the farmer will remain there stranded, not selling the sugarcane. That will affect the life of that farmer. Number two, the industry may opt to buy from the farmer, but once they buy from the farmer, they will process it, they will manufacture it, process it on the finished product that is sugar. They will want to recover that cost that the farmer raised. So therefore, they will increase the price of sugar. The moment the price of sugar is increased, that burden goes back to the common mwananchi. Therefore, the person who is going to buy sugar from the shop will have to spend more. Anything that is made out from sugar, like bread, any other thing that comes from sugar, drinks and all those,
cakes, we have sweets,
all those,
everything.
The cost will go up. What does that tell you? And the moment that cost goes up, that consumer, you and me, the person on the ground, who is going to purchase this sugar will say that because the price is high, I will not buy it. That means that you've killed demand. The demand for sugar will go low. The moment the demand is low, the industry will not make sales. The moment industry is not making sales, there are people who are employed within the industry. The industry will close down. The moment the industry closes down, those people who are employed will lose jobs. Therefore, you've seen the effect from the farm. You've seen the effect from the government increasing transportation of sugarcane. It goes to the common mwananchi, developing low
boomerangs and comes
then
back.
It comes back
All the way to the farmer, by the way.
to the farmer, to the people losing jobs, and then to low demand, and then closure of industries. And what should we do in our nation? We need to build and construct more industries to provide more jobs. So at that particular moment, there will be no supply for sugar. Then when there is no supply for sugar domestically, the government will want to import sugar. And that is where now they are increasing this, because they want to make money. You see now the way...
Oh, I not seen that last batch.
You see?
Okay.
The government will want to import sugar.
Okay.
The moment they import sugar, they encourage what we call the foreign absorption. What is foreign absorption? It means that as you import sugar, the money that is supposed to circulate within our country domestically, that money leaves the country to another country. So that leakage of your money into another country is called foreign absorption, where the government should always work to encourage domestic absorption. Domestic absorption means that the money circulates within your country, and that helps in boosting and building an economy. So you've seen where the government is coming from with this trick. So they want to make more money, and that money is going to get lost, okay? And then, in addition to that, they are going to kill jobs in our country. So that one will be the impact of 16% VAT on transportation. Therefore, it must be fought.
Wait. Hey. Na tuko na 16 questions. Sasa kama moja. Hey. All right, we're coming live to you guys from Samaki on Othaya Road. As you like to call it, Omena. Yeah, you come over here, you try the best seafood in town. If you haven't been here, let me show you a glimpse of how it looks like. So next time you're bringing your person over here, or you want to order in, you get to come and experience beauty or class. Alrighty, yep, we're back. We're still live with Mheshimiwa Babu Owino breaking down the finance bill and the effect it has on the economy and Kenyans at large. I wrote down the points. I did research and I've come with questions. We've just tackled the first one. 15 more to go. Number 2, VAT on bread? Kwa mkate.
Obinna, this government is so insensitive that it wants to punish her citizens. And putting VAT on bread, as I explained earlier, caused a revolution in France.
Yes.
When Marie Antoinette, the
They
wife
to
to Louis XVI, was brought down, was guillotined because of bread.
Bread too.
Okay? So, increasing VAT on bread, the 16% VAT on bread, what does this tell you? A bread now weighs around 400 grams.
Yes.
Bread. One slice of bread weighs between 38 to 40 grams. Okay?
Oh my God. Bro, it's not that serious.
It is too serious, Obinna. It is too serious.
Hey.
We have to know what Kenyans are consuming, right?
Okay.
So, when you are adding, bread is costing around 65 shillings now. If you add 16%, you do 16% of 65 is around 10 shillings, 10.4. You add to 65 is going to be 75.4 shillings. That is 75 shillings. So if bread is going to move from 65 to 75, what does this tell you about those people who are going to buy bread? So any person who is going to buy bread will develop a negative attitude towards purchasing that bread, which means that in economics, they will develop what we call low demand. There will be low demand for bread. When there is low demand for bread, automatically if bread is not being bought, there will be low supply for bread. If there is low supply for bread, what happens back in the industry? The people manufacturing bread, making bread in Kenya, will close down all those industries because their bread is not being bought because of high cost. Then what will happen to that, to the people who are working in the industry? They will lose jobs, okay? So, increasing the price for bread leads to losses of jobs in this country, closure of industries in this country, leads to people not consuming bread, to even our children who love bread. Me, I give my children bread for breakfast if they are going to school. So even the consumption of bread is not going to be there, and therefore it is going to affect our economy negatively. Because if 2 million people fail to buy bread in this country, what will happen? It means that the industries will have to close, okay? And the government, in their lack of wisdom, they think that if you increase, if you increase bread from 65 to 75, and then that they think that they will collect more money, that leads to less money. Why? Because less people are buying. Therefore, they will not even get that 16% VAT. So, I think, as I said earlier, that you can't advise President Ruto. In fact, he has advisors, but President Ruto advises his advisors on how to advise him. You see? Because a person who is a president should accept advice. If I'm sitting here today and I can explain to you this and it is making sense, right? Don't you think that Ruto's advisors tell him this thing but he's just ignoring? What is David D doing? What is he doing? He calls himself an economist. Me, I never studied economics, but I can understand this better because I've studied street economics, reading books and moving here and there and learning about economics. So that is going to affect, that is the negative impact. Increasing bread means that government will collect less, people will lose jobs, industries will close down.
Industries. I've seen there's also VAT on diapers and VAT on pads. Wow!
Obinna.
Pads!
Obinna. This government is so ruthless. They are causing untold suffering. And Obinna, when you look at the government, if the government is taxing pads, pads used to be zero rated. Zero rated means that there was no VAT on pads. There was no tax on pads. And if at all there's any tax met during the course of production, then it should be refunded. That is what zero rating means. But right now, the dignity of our children has been taken away by the government. The dignity of our girls, 60% of Kenyans can't afford pads. If you go to Northeastern, you go to Turkana, you go to some parts of Central, some parts of Rift Valley where Ruto is coming from, West Pokot, you go to Nyanza, you go to some parts of Coast, you come here to Nairobi, people cannot afford pads. Parents cannot afford pads. Our girls are using clothes, which is very unhygienic. Our girls are sitting on sand, on the soil. Our dignity is being eroded. The dignity of our children is being eroded by this defunct government. Why should Ruto do this? Pads should be provided for free, and that is why we pay taxes, so that the dignity and the confidence of our children are boosted, of our girls are boosted, and our mothers. People will be bleeding everywhere, Obinna. It will be so shameful. Why should the government tax sanitary pads? something that should be provided for free. And taxation of that, for that matter, will still lead to low demand, will still lead to closure of some of the industries that are manufacturing those parts in this country, will still lead to loss of jobs in those industries.
And also, let me throw something in there. It will now lead to also an increase in infections.
Infections,
because our mothers and sisters will be using the clothes that are dirty. Because now you cannot afford what is supposed to be. So covering up with everything, those UTIs and
very
complications
unhygienic, Obinna.
Wow.
People will be affected a lot. That is so embarrassing. I don't know what Ruto is doing. This is a person,
confidence for people.
This is a person who really prayed for God to make him a president. What is he doing with the lives of Kenyans? And I can tell you today that even increasing diapers, tax on diapers, Obinna, they say that diapers is a preserve of the rich. But you see, those who are earning, those who are employed, who should spur up the economy, the moment their money is taxed in form of the income tax, that is also increased from 30 to 35%, it means that the money that they remain with after taxation, which is called disposable income in economics, that money that is remaining, that money will not be sufficient to buy other goods whose prices have gone up. So even the diapers, what will happen? Again, the effect will narrow down. Industries closure, then after that, people losing jobs. Then after that, we are going back to they were used to be called the napkins, the nappies. We are going back there. So are we retrogressing or are we regressing? Are we moving forward or are we moving backward as a nation? What are we trying to do? Why are we going analog instead of moving forward? So I don't know what to say about this government, but this is the worst government ever from the inception of this nation. From the time of the Kenyatta era to Moi's era, even during Moi's era, the country was not as bad as it is as we are speaking. This is the worst government ever in the history of this nation.
They put also tax on milk, bro.
There's tax on milk.
Increased tax on milk. Batteries.
You know, when you increase milk, you still close down those industries. People still lose jobs.
Yep.
Batteries, when you increase taxes on batteries, Obinna, it means that even our vehicles will not be moving, right? It means that a lot will be happening.
And the president was talking about electric motorbikes and stuff.
And you see, he was just tricking us with the electric, motorbikes and vehicles. And he's also taxing those ones. So he wanted to introduce something new and introduce tax on it. So that is disastrous. That is going to kill us, to destroy the lives of Kenyans.
There's something that I saw. It was on cancer treatment. It was VAT on cancer treatment. And I'm like, my nigga.
You know, Obinna,
VAT on cancer treatment?
VAT on cancer treatment was also zero rated. There was no VAT on cancer treatment. Chemotherapy is going to be made expensive. So Ruto anatudharau tukiwa watoto by increasing taxes on diapers. He doesn't respect children. He doesn't respect our girls and our women by increasing taxes on sanitary pads. He doesn't respect the living, right, by increasing taxes on treatment for cancer, these terminal diseases like cancer. My brother is making chemotherapy to be more expensive. Cancer is already a plague, a disaster. And in addition to that, he doesn't respect the dead because he's introducing taxes on furniture. Furniture, which means that a coffin, it will not be easy for you to bury your own. Because the person who is making furniture, there's high taxation that is being increased on the raw materials that you are going to use. You are going to pay taxes. So even to that carpenter, you are going to lose jobs, plus the families they are supporting. These are millions and millions of Kenyans losing jobs. And if Ruto does not respect the dead and does not respect the living, he doesn't respect the living and the dead, who does he respect? Can he even just respect God who gave him, who made him rig these elections? He should even respect God. Right?
Sasa unasema allegedly.
There is no allegation there. There is no allegation there. That was blatant rigging, and that is why probably he has confidence, because he still have his Jose Camargo. Maybe Jose Camargo will be dead by 2027. Okay? Because that is the confidence. Because if you know that you depend on citizens, on Kenyans for your re-election, why are you overtaxing them? It's because you depend on the system, you depend on Jose Camargo, you depend on the servers to bring you back, to be manufactured. I can tell you, you can rig elections, but you can never rig an economy by using high taxation. You can rig elections, but you can never, ever rig development.
Okay. There was also another tax that is over there, 2.5% tax on motor vehicles. You saw that? It's on the finance bill.
This is another madness. And I even heard people explaining this thing, but they don't know how to explain this thing. Let me tell you how this thing is.
Yeah.
The 2.5 tax on motor vehicle bin means that for every vehicle, if we increase the cost by 2.5%, or rather paying 2.5% on it, it means that this cost shall move down to the insurance industry. Okay? The insurance industry is a service industry. They depend on premiums. So if you increase this tax, it means that the insurance companies will increase the premiums. When they increase the premiums, means that you and I and people who own cars, if they go to insure their vehicles comprehensively, they will not manage. Why? Because the premiums are high. Therefore, they will go to third party. And even for the third party, because it will also increase from the current values now, because of the increment in 2.5%, it means that not so many people will be insuring their vehicles. So people will be skiving insuring vehicles. The moment that they don't insure their vehicles, what will happen? Number one, insurance companies, industries will go down. Okay? Because of low premiums that they will be registering. So the moment insurance companies go down, people will lose jobs from those companies. Again, people losing jobs, right? Another thing that will happen, the moment people skive, because they'll be putting fake insurances, okay, to skive payment of the insurance, right? The moment that happens, there will be high level of corruption within the police service, right? Because they'll be collecting bribes to spare these people, okay?
To look the other way.
So again, corruption will go up. Once it goes up and people loses jobs because of low insurance, what does this tell us? Insurance industry is a service industry. There are three sectors in an economy. The first sector is the service industry. The service sector, which comprises of the insurance industry, banking, education, health. It contributes 65% of the Kenyan economy.
Ruben sound? Which sound? Oh, it's gone just now. I'm up before. Okay. Change the battery.
Is a problem with sound?
Battery imeisha pale kwa camera when I switch.
Okay. So at what point?
We just start with the insurance
At what
industry.
point?
Babu is coming ama tulale.
Yes?
Babu is here, you guy. Babu is here.
Ati
No,
Babu?
watu wanashanga, is Babu coming ama tulale? That's David Mugo. You know David Mugo ule wa
Oh.
eh.
So, let me explain the insurance part.
Okay.
So, the moment people don't pay premiums, the insurance industry will go down. The moment they go down, people will lose jobs. There will be high level of corruption in the country. Why? Because police will be collecting bribes from those vehicles without insurance and from those people who have manufactured fake insurance. Okay? Then the moment that happens, it kills that insurance industry. There are three sectors in an economy. The first sector is the service sector, which comprises of the insurance, banking, okay, health, education. It contributes around 65% to the economy of the country. Then we have the manufacturing industry. Where manufacturing industry, we have manufacturing, okay, the industry, that is where we have the manufacturing and we also have the construction. It takes around 16%, okay? And manufacturing alone takes 9%, contributes 9% to the Kenyan economy. But the whole industry department, industry sector, contributes 16%. Then we have the primary sector, which we call the agriculture and mining. It contributes around 19% to the economy. So back to the insurance. Remember, the service industry contributes 65% to the Kenyan economy. Therefore, we will lose a lot from the service industry because the insurance companies will close down, people will lose jobs, corruption will increase. Now, that is the impact. But the government, in their lack of wisdom, they think that if you increase that, then so many people will pay premiums. Obinna, if the premiums go up, will you pay or not? You will say, I don't need to pay this. Comprehensive. And if you go to third party, if you used to pay 5,000 or 7,000 and now you are paying 10,000, you will not be in a position to pay it. You will say, I would rather use an extra cost of money to do another thing than paying for this third party. So therefore, it is killing that industry also, the insurance industry.
Basically, these taxes are not going to work the way they've pictured them working. I've also seen there's a tax on mobile money transactions. Sahi nikikutuma pesa from the bank tena na kwa simu.
Sahi Obinna, if you want money from me, I cannot send it to you by
Utafute nikupe cash.
Nitachukua matatu, nikutafute penye huko, ndio nikupatie ido. What will that happen? How will that affect Kenyans? Number one, you are moving from digital form of transaction to analog. Number two, the delay is created. The delay is created will make you not make enough money that you are supposed to make, right? Because instead of sending, you will be moving there. So if 10 people, if 100 people are supposed to send money, only 10 will send. So will that government collect money from that, those taxes? No, they will not collect money from those taxes. So therefore, the people who are working in M-Pesa shops and agents, will they not lose jobs? They will lose jobs because the people who are employing them will have no money to pay them, right? And then back to the insurance part. The moment those vehicles, their values go high in form of premiums, people will also be fearing to drive cars. The moment, why? Because they will fear arrests, right? Then the moment they don't drive their vehicles, will a mechanic get a job? Will not get a job. So a mechanic will lose jobs, right? Those who are selling spare parts at Kirinyaga and other places of this country, will they sell their spare parts? They will not sell their spare parts. So those people will also lose businesses. So by the end of the day, what will happen? It's spiraling down. Even will fuel be bought? Fuel will not be bought. Will our roads be maintained using the levy? The fuel levy? They will not. Right?
Okay. Before you continue, let me just ask, let me just put this up there. So nobody saw this?
They saw, but they are ignorant, wallowing in the miasma of mediocrity and confusion. But I think, again, Ruto is heartless. He wants to punish Kenyans for not voting for him. That is what I think.
Oh, that is why even the people who are betting, pia imewaramba yao. There's
now,
also tax on betting.
Obinna, now you see, with betting is also a very funny thing. When you come to betting, people have lost hope. Yeah. People have no jobs. Why? People have lost hopes because they have no jobs. And as a result, they've said that, okay, because I don't have a job, what do? Let me go and bet. Then if you go for betting,
let me try my luck.
Betting, which is a willing buyer, willing seller. Because you're the one who wants to try it. The moment you go and bet, again you get two types of taxes. There's the winning tax that they've introduced, the 20%, and there's the excise tax, the excise duty, now, which is again 20%. The excise duty is a tax, you are being taxed on the capital, on the money that you are betting. So if you use 100 shillings to bet, the government still takes that 20%, which is 20 bob, you remain with 80. Okay? And again, after winning, again they come and impose. That is called the principle of double jeopardy. Double punishment. Okay? You are punished for betting. Again, you are punished for winning. Madness. while in that industry, let's say that the odds are 50:1. 50:1 means that, for example, a team like Fulham is playing against Man City or Arsenal or Man U, right? Then you put the odds as 50 for Fulham winning against 1. So if you only introduce the winning tax, it means that if you bet 1,000 shillings, right, then the government, you will win how much? If Fulham wins, that is 50,000, right? Then you do 20% of 50,000, that is 10,000, right? So the government will gain 10,000 Kenya shillings. Are we right there?
I'm getting you.
But now come to now the two types of taxes. Where, number one, the government taxes their 1,000 to get 200 shillings kwanza, 20%.
Okay.
That is the excise tax. Then on top of that,
when you win,
now the remaining amount of money remain with is 800 shillings. 800 shillings times 50 when you win, the odds is 40,000. So again, tax that 40,000, 20% of that is 8,000, right? So take 8,000, then add to 200. So the government is getting 8,200 instead of getting 10,000 if you only tax once. Is this not madness and stupidity and naivety and madness and craziness?
Okay, if you look at it that way, then it makes sense. You're like, wait a minute, you can actually make more.
Yes.
Ukingoja hii, kuliko uchukue kidogo hapa, then now it does not.
Yes. So then they are thinking that if you put here, you're collecting more. They are collecting less. So therefore, even betting, they are killing that industry. Betting is internationally allowed, Obinna. Even in the UK, it is there, right?
Yeah, globally.
Yes. And
now, let me change the conversation a bit. There's been a conversation that a lot of people are talking about affordable housing.
yes.
So let's start from there. First of all, was affordable housing, according to you, was it a good idea? Because people are being told, kila mutu, we remember the story. You're going to pay because we are pooling resources. And nobody really in the government could really explain how that was happening. Kulikuwa na waheshimiwa who are saying, oh, but you know, we are pooling resources. But nobody really explained it well. So was it a good idea? And how was it going to work? And has it ever worked before anywhere?
Affordable housing worked in North Korea, in South Korea.
Okay.
It worked in during Lee Kuan Yew's time, in Singapore. Okay?
Okay.
But they used a different strategy, not what we are using now. Okay?
When you are going to pool resources?
You know, house is a private good. The government's role is not to provide private goods to her citizens. The government's role is to provide public goods like roads and also facilitate consumption of merit goods like education and health, but not to provide private goods like housing. Can the government build 55 million houses for 55 million Kenyans? No. If they are saying that they were providing these unaffordable houses, Obinna, the other day we had floods. We had floods. What happened with the flooding? The government did not even consider a temporary solution for only relocating the people who had floods in these so-called affordable houses. Why didn't they do that? They are saying that you have to part with 300,000 for you to at least pay as deposit. How many mama mbogas make 300,000 and for how many years? If a mama mboga is making 200 shillings, 100, 200 shillings in a day, in a month they are making only 6,000 Kenya shillings. In a year, 6,000 by 12 is 72,000 Kenya shillings. How many years will you need to make 300,000 Kenya shillings to buy a house? Let me tell you, the government would have expanded the transport network system and brought in an electric train. Where, Obinna, if you work in Kisumu or Naivasha, you just board because people have houses, right? You will just board your train. In 15 minutes from Naivasha, you will be in Nairobi, right? If you are living in Kiambu in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you will be in Nairobi working. If you are living in Kisumu, 30 minutes, you will be here. In the evening, you are going back to Kisumu. But you have your house intact. So government's role is not to build houses for the people. This is a scheme where the government wants to use money to gain money from the supplies made from the raw materials that are being imported. Cement, the doors, the handles, the nails, the roofing, the finishing, the tiles, every finishing part of it, the skeleton structure of the building, every raw material being used, the government wants to make money from it.
Is that why they've increased the budget for the affordable housing?
They've increased the budget so that they can spite up, they can continue encouraging the construction of those houses so that they can make more money from the raw materials that they supply for construction of these houses. So therefore, this government is still messing up Obinna and messing up big time.
Okay. Now, I want us to talk about something interesting. I want us to talk about central bank rates. But just before that one, we are doing a tour, myself and them on Facebook. We're coming around to where you are. We're starting with Narok on the 5th of July. Yep. Comedy galore, tutacheka, tutadance. I'm coming with an artist as well, a musician. Atawaimbia, mutafurahia. And then also nakuja na hii table, Obinna Show live. Unava nimekana mheshimiwa Babu, utakana gavana wenyu, ama MP wenyu, ama MC wenyu, napiga naye story. Mambo ni live. Microphone nakuja live, munaongea. So tell your people, go to madfund.com, get your ticket, only 1,500 per head. There are no tickets at the gate, advanced tickets only. We're starting with Narok. The first leg, we're in Narok, Kisii, Eldoret, Kitale, and Mombasa. These are the places we are going to this July, by God's grace. We say Alhamdulillah, okay? So we're coming through, so get your ticket. Usifike last minute useme, oh, ambuku niambia nipate ticket, nini. Get your ticket now. And while you do that, I know most of you are watching what you're doing and you love what you're doing. You're like, okay, how can I get to be a TV presenter? How can I get to be a radio presenter? How can I get to be an editor, a graphics designer, or anything to do with production? You want to study media? Gold Child Media Institute, their intake is ongoing. They're in town and they have the short courses. Maybe you're thinking about what you're going to be doing during this holiday season that's coming up, or maybe you've just deferred from school. Ama bada una pesa kupeleka hizo institutions hizo kubwa unaanzia hapo pole pole. The short courses, maybe a diploma here, maybe a certificate here, and sometimes you just want to learn a skill. Get yourself to Gold Child Media Institute. CK? Yes, what you're seeing now is Obinna Show live crew in action. That's my team. That's one of them. We have about 5 of them over here. You're learning videography, photography. Maybe you want to do production. Maybe you want good quality videos and you're wondering what to do. Now, I have a deal for you. Gold Child Media Training Institute. Their poster is going to be on the screen now. Their intake is ongoing. They're trustworthy and they know what to do. You want to get a certificate. You want to get a diploma. You want to get your hands in the action. Usikuna kana sema, I want to be like Obinna. I want to do what Obinna does, but you've not gone to school. You have to go to school. That is Gold Child Media Training Institute, and they're presenting to you empowerment through expression. You get in there, you express yourself. Na ukipitia sometimes in the lecture also, utanipata huko, nimepitia naongea na wewe kidogo na kupatia motivation na kuinspire na kuambia by the way ukitaka kama ujamaa burudi pale kidogo. Unaona kazi ile anafanya hapo? You have to go to school for you to learn how to operate that camera. So talk to Gold Child Media Training Institute. You get to enroll now, you get to enroll your son. The schools are closed by the way. Asikae nyumbani sana nini. Anaweza learn part time, then shule zikifunguliwa anarudi. Their contacts are on the screen. Get in touch with them. Ufundishe mtoto wako aweze kufuata passion yake ama ni aje. Alrighty. That's it. So join Gold Child Media Institute for the best skills that you want to pick up on the media space. Na utashukuru. Now we're coming back over here. Central bank rates. I need to say something on that because pale pia kimewaka moto.
You know, Obinna, central bank lends to other commercial banks in this country.
True.
The moment the central bank's lending rates or the rates goes high, which is the highest, almost highest in Africa ever, has never been seen. The Kenyan one is at 13% high. What does that tell you? That the other commercial banks which are taking loans from central bank will take loans at higher rates. If they are going to issue these loans to business people in Kenya, if a mama mboga wants to go and take loan from Equity Bank or from Cooperative Bank or from any other bank in this country, those commercial banks will also increase their rates, their interest rates. So what does this mean? It means that 2 things will happen. Number one, increasing the central bank rates increases the rates for other banks and therefore increases the interest loan rates for common mwananchi and mama mboga. And therefore, one, this mama mboga will go and take the loan. If they take the loan, if their rates are high, they will increase the value of the products they are producing. Or if an industry goes to take loans and it is manufacturing pads, for example, or it is manufacturing sugar, or it is manufacturing unga and it has taken a loan facility, then it means that the price of that unga will go up because that person must also recover. So if that price goes up, what will happen to the economy? The government will not collect more, right? The government will collect less because of low demand, and therefore increasing the rate of the central bank lending rates leads to creation of low demands for our goods and services, and therefore low supply, and therefore industries will close, and therefore people will lose jobs, and therefore even mama mboga going to take a loan to do business ya kuuza mboga will leave it because they have high interest rates to pay. Number two, another thing that will happen is that industries will close or the cost of goods will go up. What does the government need to do to spur up our economy, Obinna? In the United States of America, during the Great Depression that ran from 1929 and went for around 11 years, over a decade, to 1941, under the then president called Franklin D. Roosevelt. What did he do? He went live on the stage and told Americans that we must never lose hope and that the only thing to fear is fear itself. Then he went ahead and got a great economist from Great Britain called John Maynard Keynes, who came up with a theory called the Keynesian theory. John Maynard Keynes wrote a book called The General Theory, and he advised. He removed America from the Great Depression, the depression that almost attacked the whole of the global village. The economy for the whole world was crashing, was coming down, was contracting, to use an economics term, contracting. Okay? This is knowledge.
Yet, knowledge is being dispensed carelessly.
So, what did John Maynard do? He came up with the Keynesian theory and said that if you want to spur up an economy, if you want to grow an economy, introduce money into the pockets of the common mwananchi, Ruto should create more jobs for the economy to spur up, for the GDP to be high, for us to get a higher per capita, which is generally the GDP divided by the population, and the GDP is almost all the total expenditure, okay, that we spend, what we spend in a nation, local plus foreign, okay? Therefore, the best thing that ought to have been done by this president, Ruto, is to spur up the economy, as was done by John Maynard Keynes. Put money into the pockets of the people, so that when they have money, they are going to buy more. If they go to a shopkeeper to buy unga, shopkeeper will employ more people because many people are buying unga. That is creating jobs. Then shopkeeper will run back to the industry and say, because the demand for unga is high, let me also supply more. The industry will also manufacture more and employ people during that manufacturing. Many people will be employed. The industry will also say that because there's more demand, I also need more raw materials. We'll talk to the farmers, produce, grow more maize. Farmers will also say, we need more fertilizer, we need more people to work on the farm. The economy grows. Growing an economy is as easy as reciting vowels. Okay? Hii yake ya kwenda China, mara Italy, mara wapi. Hii yake hii ni.
Speaking of going to China and Italy, there's something that I also wanted to pick your brain on.
Yes.
Our loans. So we are in debt as a country because we receive too many loans.
Yes.
And you know, loans, what they mean? It means it's money that you're going to pay back. It's not a grant. Okay? So I also want you to shed some light on the debts because as it is, bro, naona kikituramba.
Nikubaya.
Yes.
Number one, Obinna, having debts is not a wrong thing.
True. That's true.
And there's a gentleman called Franco Modigliani, an Italian-American economist.
Na Google, like, who? Pause.
Franco Modigliani. Franco Modigliani came up with a theory called the theories of consumption. He came up with theories of consumption, where he discussed a theory called the life cycle hypothesis.
Where?
And he said, in the life cycle hypothesis, that you as Obinna, if you are earning 10,000 per month, or 20,000 per month for that matter, and you want to build a house, you will not be able to build your house using that 20,000. Maybe you will build it when you are 70 or 80 years old, a proper house, right? But he said you can go and take a loan or mortgage, build a house now as Obinna, then repay it pole pole. So which means the loan system is not wrong, so long as you can repay, and it is for development. Okay? But, which means that as Obinna, what you're supposed to enjoy in 70 years, you can enjoy it here at your 30s successfully, right? Without waiting for 70 years to come, as you pay for it.
Yeah.
Now, shock on you, come back to Kenya, where we borrow for 1, corruption. We borrow for 2, patrimonialism. Patrimonialism means you want to please the keys to power, the people around you, the ministers, the people that you think should give you power. You borrow for them. You don't borrow for common mwananchi, right? You borrow to steal. You steal your own money. That is what this government is doing, right? You borrow for recurrent expenditure, just to pay salaries, wages, and there is no development. Proper borrowing is borrowing for development. Borrowing to steal, borrowing for corruption, borrowing for patrimonialism, they are called unproductive debts in economics. Okay? But you borrow for development is called productive debts. Kenya now, our debt is standing at over 10 trillion. With 10 trillion in mind, we have domestic debt, which is almost 48% or 50%, and we have foreign debts, which is having another 50%. Okay? Domestic debt, there is no problem with domestic debt. It is not a problem because that is money that is circulating in the system, right? Yeah. But foreign debts, there is a problem with it because this is money that you must pay. Okay? And if you even fail to pay it, it will increase. It will balloon. It will still give us a problem. So, we have a debt, Obinna, and this debt has been mismanaged by the system, by the government. This government came in crying that they didn't have money. Ever since President Ruto came in as a president, he has borrowed a lot of money, right? Even the other day he said that America has given him 1 trillion Kenya shillings. Why would you tax Kenyans if you have 1 trillion for this financial year? And our budget is 3.9 trillion. Okay? So it's either a lie, and by the way, you should provide those agreements. We want to see them. Should put them here on the table. Otherwise, hizo ni hot air. Unaelewa?
Yes.
Yeah. So generally, we have a problem with our debt, and we are borrowing to mismanage. We are not borrowing to manage it properly.
Okay.
Yes.
Correct. Get me a pen, eh? There's something else that I need to throw in here just before we wrap up. Let me note it down. So, I also noticed that we've reduced taxes. Ah, there's a pen here. I got it. Asante. You know, if you don't write it down, I wanted to ask something. Now, by the way, Omosh, from now henceforth, kuna shonda kwa nafanya bila kalamu na karatasi hapa. Okay? We look a little bit more professional. Hata kama tunaandika kitu tukuzile, okay. Then, because ukiteka kwa simu inakwanga, ule mtu alikuwa kwa simu tu hajui kumbe si ni Gen Z. Unaandika notes kwa simu, so it's very rude to write notes on the phone. All right. So, there's something else that I wanted to pick your brain on. I noticed that we've reduced taxes on goods from East African communities. That
Yes.
the ones that are being
Yes.
imported. Yeah.
On the finance bill, there's a tax that has been introduced
Introduced
to
over there.
reduce,
Yeah.
to reduce tax on the agricultural products for East African communities. It means that we will be importing more eggs. Then how will our farmers survive? We will be importing more sugar. How will our farmers survive? We'll be importing so many things, including chicken. How will our farmers survive? Okay? So that means that we are encouraging what we call the foreign absorption in economics. Foreign absorption means that money is leaking into other economies. We are growing Uganda, Tanzania more, Rwanda more than we are building Kenya. Okay? Yeah. Instead of encouraging domestic absorption, where money is circulating, we are promoting our farmers. So we are killing our farmers. We are killing the KFCs, the Ken Chicks. We are killing where we are fries are being sold, viazi zetu tutaziuza wapi? If we are going to import even viazi, if we are going to import even cabbages and sukuma wiki,
true,
we are killing our agricultural sector, a sector that is a primary sector that contributes 19% to our economy. So why should we kill it? To only please the neighboring countries. We need to please our children first. We need to please our people first before we please the neighbors.
Oh, this is PR value for the guys.
This is now PR for the neighboring communities.
So hujasafisha kwako,
yes,
lakini utoka nyumba luku ni safi.
Luku ni safi.
But ukirudi ndani watu wanalia.
Ni kubaya. Ni kama Instagram. Live huko nje umeweka iko top lakini
una set. But in real life
kubaya.
There's also another tax on content creators. Luckily enough, I am not one of... Sasa ninajitetea.
Obinna, content creators are being punished for being creative, the creative industry. Ruto took a few of them to the United States of America. I wish that money would have been given to them to start businesses. It wasn't worth it. The juice was not worth the squeeze. Okay? Just going to go and see a studio in America, what value? Pictures. And take pictures. What value did it add? So that is a big problem. Instead of boosting their morale and encouraging them and promoting them and not taxing them and giving them loans to start to buy equipment that they can use for production, building the film industry, the music industry, the comedy industry, those who are the content creators on social media. Instead of building them, what are you doing to them? You are taxing them. Those are people that have no jobs. They've decided that, you know, now because there are no jobs, let me do something so that I can earn from social media, from the internet, from the social media that even you did not discover. Okay? Now you want them to pay you for that, surely. This is madness.
There's even, I'm supposed to be having a license for uploading this video on YouTube.
And I saw what they did to you, Obinna.
Yeah.
You know, they wanted to cancel your license. And you see right now, what they've done to us in your show right now. You see?
We can't stream live.
And because of what we've talked about.
Yep.
You see, that is why the government has decided to shut down your YouTube now. Just a few minutes ago when we were starting these interviews, you started doing an interview from morning.
Yep.
And when it comes to my part now, Babu Owino is on stage.
It's not working.
Now YouTube is not working anymore.
Yep. And for these other guys, it's working. But
see?
all my YouTube channels are not.
Imagine. So that is a big problem. And Obinna, don't worry about it. Just go big. You know, Obinna, when we first met, when I was joining the University of Nairobi, when we first met way many years ago, you are the one who was coming for all my campaigns as the MC. You are the one who was doing everything for me. But I know, Obinna, you are a hard worker and you are a very sharp person. It doesn't matter what the government is doing to you. Just keep pushing. Continue working hard. Remember, you must work 10 times harder than any other normal Kenyan for you to be up there. But I know you will be there. They are now, you are a hustler, Obinna. You don't know what your dad, where he came from, what he was doing, nini. But now, you have a name. After building this brand, Obinna Show, the government now wants to destroy it. In their lack of wisdom. as a young man who also wants to make it in life.
Now they want me to get back unemployed again.
These people are
because
mad.
Now, you know, one thing that maybe someone in the government is not figuring out, if you shut down Obinna Show Live, you see all these young men. I always say Obinna Show Live is paying about 50 people
I
directly.
can see them. I can see there. They are
and
all
these
here.
are the ones that are just here.
Yes.
Now the others who are not here. Obinna Show Live and my platforms on digital are paying about 50 people directly. And those 50 people, they have families. And the other people that they're employing indirectly. So we have here an economy of about maybe 100 people directly and indirectly. And that means if I'm gone, all of these people are now jobless, back to the street.
But they are also supporting their families, immediate families,
are,
and their relatives.
Yes.
So if there are 50, each person could be having
3 others.
Wife and 2 kids.
Yep.
Those are 3, plus him 4. Then his parents and his relatives.
Yep.
So each person is supporting around 20 families. By 50, 1,000.
Yep.
Where will you take those 1,000 people?
And also this is data. We are buying data. We're also still employing those guys for the data sellers. This is a restaurant. We also, like it's not just Obinna, but it's fine. All right. Now, we're done with the finance bill and the taxes on the finance bill. Now I want to pick your brain on some general stuff. Okay? Let's start it Hapaju. We sent police to Haiti. You know, nilikumbuka nikasema acha niandike kitu chini. Do you think that was the right move?
I said it clearly. You see, the other day, Ian Joroge was just testing one police officer. Testing if they could handle the Haiti case.
Oh, wow.
Wakienda huko, enda Haiti, uwe maiti. I said that clearly. And you see, we are doing that because of greed. Because the West has promised us money.
Yeah.
Because United States of America has promised us money.
Getting grants.
Okay?
Yeah.
And now we are risking the lives of our young men and women to go to Haiti. Haiti, where they speak 2 different languages. Okay? They speak French and they speak the Haitian Creole. Okay? Yeah. A language that people will not understand. Okay? So how do you go there to fight with those gangs and you are there and you need to be interpretation, whether that is a gang or a member of your squad. So you need to get an interpreter who will work with you 24/7, or you carry him on your back as you're doing this. You must learn French or Haitian Creole. So because of that, the language barrier will make our people die. Because of the terrain will make our people die. You remember the terrain, Napoleon Bonaparte, yes. The Battle of Waterloo. You know what happened?
The last is in session. Okay. So basically that was a wrong move. So that we can get some money and some refurbished planes for our military.
Imagine. So it was a worst move.
Yeah.
If we want to take our people there, they are going to die. We are going to receive coffins here every other time. Parliament didn't agree about this. We don't want this to happen because those police officers are our relatives. Yeah. Those are our children. Yeah. Those are our brothers. Those are our sisters. Those are our friends. Why are we going to lose them? Why are we going to fight the gangs in Haiti? Many. If you drive from here to Haiti, I don't know if you will ever reach. Okay? Yeah. But you can drive from here to Baringo and take care of the security of this country. Okay? Yep. So if you can't take care of your own security system, the bandits in Kenya, where are you going to Haiti? To do what?
Okay. There you have it. Aya. Let's calm down. So I don't know, should I start with Rigiji or Hustler Fund? Tuanze na Rigiji ako hapo juu. You've been seeing what's been happening. Speculations are that Rigiji anafanyiwa ile kitu.
Obinna, I still stand with what I said.
Yeah.
That this is a long con. Now it is a longest con. I did explain to people that tulifanyiwa ile kitu. Time ya election. Now you see Rigiji is saying, Uhuru is our brother. Let us work with him. You see now they are now, very soon you'll hear Uhuru saying, Uhuru meeting Rigiji. Then the question will be, where are we headed? Let me tell you, Ruto and Rigiji have both lost favor from the people. They've lost the ground. They've lost the ground, they've lost the sky. They've lost the people from the mountain. Because the taxes that they're imposing are are affecting the businessmen and women from the Mount Kenya region. The Mount Kenya people have now said that enough is enough. We don't want Rigiji, we don't want Ruto. Yeah. Therefore, now they are using a sympathy strategy where Ruto is purportedly or allegedly setting up himself to fight Rigiji so that Rigiji can get sympathy from the Kikuyus, people from the mountain, so that the people from the mountain will start saying that, you know, you don't need to fight our person. Okay? Then the moment these people get inside Rigiji's box, in future hapa mbele tu kidogo, watasema ati now we've reconciled with Ruto, give Ruto another term, then he will leave for me as Rigiji. Right? So the Kikuyus will vote for Ruto again, opting that Rigiji will be made president in 2032. So that the circus continues. That is the strategy. Okay. There is no fight. What has been lost? Which chopper has fallen for people to start fighting? Which interest has been crossed? Whose money between the two? Who has stolen another person's money? Who has stolen another person's shamba? That is nonsense. There is no fight there.
Okay.
So people must open their eyes
and
wide
clearly.
And see what is happening. We are being duped. We are being lied to by these two people. We are being played by these two people.
They're in cahoots.
Yes, these people are like this.
Hata ile Rigiji kupanda ndege na briefcase yake amenunua Isili.
Nani alikuwa anamchukua video? Mbona alisema chukuliwe video kama alikuwa genuine? Let me ask you. Na kupanda ndege, watu wangapi wanapanda tuk-tuk hapa kila siku? Watu wangapi wanapanda bodaboda hapa kila siku? That's still a privilege. Mbona hakutembea kutoka hapa mpaka huko? If he wanted us to know that he's suffering. Hizo ni nini bwana? Ndege yake private jet ikitoka hapa ifike Kisumu ni 40 minutes. Ni the same time yenye KQ itachukua kufika Kisumu. Okay. Is that a big deal? KQ pia si ni private jet. Si ni a jet. Sorry, it's a jet.
Okay.
It's also a jet.
Okay.
So hii maneno ati yo ndege nini bwana, tusichezewe akili Obinna.
Napangwa. Hustler Fund, was it legit? Because I've seen now the stories around that. Sasa watu wameanza kutafutwa. Because when Hustler Fund came, watu walisemanga, mimi nachukua hii Hustler Fund na silipi. And then saizi kuzile za sora wanaanza kutoa kuja baba, atulichukua 500. So the story going around, I'm sure you guys have seen it online. I don't know, have you met up to an Hustler Fund? So was it a genuine thing? Ama, what's your take on it?
Hustler Fund was also there to dupe Kenyans. Okay. Because Hustler Fund was not meant to be repaid. It was supposed to be a grant for people to start businesses. Then they start giving you 500 shillings. Kuchoma mei, tuanze hapo chini, ama mtura. Kuchoma mahindi, unahitaji kununua jiko, ununue makaa, ununue ile sengenge, ama hiyo wire mesh, alafu ununue mahindi.
Yes.
Na ununue kiberiti.
Na achari.
Na uweke na achari na ndimu.
Na ndimu.
Pilipili na ndimu.
Yeah.
Can those things cost 500 shillings?
Okay, no.
So what did you want to promote? We've given 500 shillings, now people are getting excited and happy. People should not pay that money. People should not pay that money. Okay. Because that is their money. So that Hustler Fund was meant to dupe Kenyans. Okay. They should give, the least amount of money they should give to mtu moja ni 50,000 Kenya shillings. Huyo ni mtu mwenye anaenda kuchoma mahindi ama kuchoma mtura. That is when we will know this government is serious. Can you start business with 500 shillings or even 1,000? Hiyo ni biashara gani Obinna?
Yeah. Right now, hiyo ni kitakuramba. Hata kama ni kuuza mayai.
Bwana. Hata kama ni kuuza mayai, you need to buy a sufuria. Yes. You need to buy water. You need to buy kiberiti.
Makaa.
You need to buy makaa.
Bado tujonunua
mayai. You need to buy jiko. You
Yes.
need to buy mayai. Bwana.
Alafu na ndoo ya kubeba. Alafu you need to make kachumbari.
Mayai crate moja ndio so 3 so 4 inaenda hapo, imeshaenda hiyo, pesa imeenda yote.
Yeah. Okay. Haya, tumemaliza hiyo. Haya, another thing that I wanted to pick your brain on, Baba. So Baba, AU, unaonaje? Is it a good thing? Anaipata, haipati?
We are really praying, Obinna,
Yeah.
for Baba apate AU. Baba is a great leader. Baba is someone that I always really look up to. And he's been a great person. And Baba has really tried and fought for Kenyans. But it has been unfortunate. But I'm just praying that Baba at least apate AU. Just even for himself only. Hata yeye tu pia apate kitu. And that is my prayer. So that at least I get somewhere. That is really, 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 really what I really genuinely and deeply want down my heart.
If he doesn't?
If he doesn't, he has an option. He can still come back. Constitution is allowed to contest. For president, he can still contest.
Okay.
If he doesn't want to contest, then it is at his own discretion also.
Yeah.
But he's still the leader that we have in Azimio. He's still my leader in ODM. He still has an opportunity. And is the strongest person who can beat Ruto in 2027, if you ask me.
Okay.
But if he doesn't come, if he doesn't want to contest, if he gets it and wants to come back, well and good. If he doesn't want to come back, then he also has capable soldiers who can take care of ODM,
okay,
who can take care of Azimio, who can take care of his people. Because yeye ndio bado ni baba. We have a person like myself. Kama baba yuko, babu ndiye anaingia. Babu wa ba?
Baba. Baba. Okay.
Yeah, so but it is my prayer that apate kitu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you think can replace Baba? If at all now Baba says now he wants to hand over, let's say ODM and also Azimio as a coalition to someone, who do you think is the most able person to take it? Do you
Of
believe
course,
you
myself. They tell me,
Yeah.
Obinna, Henry Kissinger said that a strong leader
Yeah.
must have 3 qualities.
Okay.
Number 1, must be intelligent,
Okay, hapo umetik.
which I have. Number 2, must have political acumen,
Okay.
which I overqualify. Number 3, must have passion and energy, which I overqualify.
Okay.
And he said many years later that he forgot one thing. Henry Kissinger said that. That the fourth thing is
Okay.
bureaucracy. And he said that the first 3 can never be delegated, but you can delegate on bureaucracy. Okay. If you look at all those people that you are saying, Obinna, is there any person better than me there? Just tell me.
No, you know, on the ground, there's a...
If you check those 3 things that I've mentioned, and even on that ground, say it.
Let me start the pot.
Yes.
Kalonzo Musyoka.
Name them.
No, let's start over there. Because a lot of people are like, okay, now if Baba is not there, it's going to be handed over to Kalonzo Musyoka.
Kalonzo deserves,
Yeah.
is a strong person.
Yeah.
Kalonzo deserves being respected.
Yes.
Kalonzo deserves running for president, if you ask me.
Okay.
Kalonzo deserves our votes. He has supported us 3 times.
Okay.
So he deserves our votes.
Okay.
Okay?
But?
No, we leave it at that.
Okay.
He deserves our votes.
Oparanya?
What do you think?
Tonight, I'm not thinking. I'm just starting the board. I'm like, okay, Oparanya, okay.
Okay, these are leaders. They are very capable leaders.
Okay.
They are capable. Oparanya, according to his history, is capable. Joe,
Yeah, I wanted to throw in Joe in there.
Is capable. Okay.
Sifuna?
Sifuna is capable, according to
Junet.
the way it is and his history. Junet is also capable. All these leaders are capable. All these leaders can manage ODM.
Yes.
Yes, they can all manage ODM.
But the most appropriate
the
person,
most urgent,
the most
important,
deserving,
urgent and important and deserving is myself. Okay, they can all manage, but the most important and urgent is myself.
Alrighty. Aya. Now let me pick your brain on the governor's space. So 2027, there's been a lot of a lot of whispers.
Yes.
Babu for governor, Babu is that, Babu here, Babu there. But then also, there's also another situation that people are saying probably they might decide, your party, that is ODM, can decide and say, Babu, governor ngoja kidogo, let's give Wanyonyi. Or let's give someone else. You kae Embakasi kidogo bado, ama go to the Senate, ama do something else.
Obinna, as Babu Owino right now, I'm overqualified to be a president of the Republic of Kenya. I'm overqualified to be a governor of any county in this nation. I'm overqualified to be a Senate, to be a member of the National Assembly, to be in any position in this country. I'm overqualified. Okay? The people, the two gentlemen, Sonko and Faye, in Senegal, came direct from prison, 10 days to elections, without even paying agents. They didn't even have agents. From prison direct to State House. People did not look at their age. When we are demonstrating, we don't look at the age of Babu Owino. When I'm being arrested, we don't look at the age of Babu Owino. When wars are coming along my way, we don't look at the age of Babu Owino. When it's time to eat, we look at the age of Babu Owino. So Babu Owino must be sized down. Obinna, if Babu Owino where he is, if you allow Babu Owino to be buried on the ground, you as a fellow youthful man like myself, as a fellow youth like myself, as a fellow young person like myself, will you ever make it? If you allow Babu Owino to be crushed, you will be the next. You will be the next person whom those people will want to crush, because they don't want us to invade their space. Okay. But we will occupy that space. They like it, they hate it. We are going to occupy that space, Obinna, and there is no jokes about this. Okay. Because we want to help our people, and we want to get positions that will enable us to help as many as possible. That is our dream, okay. Obinna. There is no time. Fidel Castro was a president of Cuba at 32 years. Okay? Here in Libya, Muammar Gaddafi at 28 years was already a president. Right? We've seen so many leaders at young age leading these nations. We cannot go back and say that, you know, now age will matter when it comes to these positions. That age cannot be followed only, cannot be used only selectively with young people. When will that young person who is at the university, when will that young person who is in the village, who does not have a job, when will their hopes be boosted if a fellow young person is destroyed in the process? When will they rise to another level? When will they rise to be a better person in the future if a youthful person is destroyed? And the youth in this country should not allow a fellow youth to be destroyed.
Because
we need,
they destroy that
we are
one,
the
majority.
majority.
They come for you.
Yes. You remember the Nazi German. You remember what happened? When they came for the trade unionist, I wasn't a trade unionist. So therefore, it was left.
Yeah.
When they came for the Jew, I was not a Jew. You kept quiet. And they went to another person. Until when they came for you, you were alone and nobody was there to defend you. So we as the youth, we should never allow ourselves to be destroyed by anybody. Anybody who wants to bring war, there will be war. Anybody wants to bring peace, there will be peace. We will preach what they bring to us. We will not start it, but we will preach what they bring to us. Because I will not allow myself to go back to Nyalenda slums. I have to work for my people. Right? So that will be what shall happen, Obinna. When it comes to principalities, to principles, I'm one principled man who will stand his ground. Okay. Even if I remain one person, I will stand on that ground. Okay. Okay? And fight for my people. And that is what I will do, inherently and religiously. So therefore, the position for the gubernatorial seat is a story for another day. It is tomorrow's problem. It is not today's problem. Today's problem is to work for Kenyans, is to work for the people of Embakasi East, to work for my fellow Kenyans, and to help the people. Okay? But that seat, as you can see, is vacant. The person who is currently occupying it is an accident of history. It happened by chance. The seat is vacant. There is nobody on that seat. Okay? That's a seat that you don't even need to fight for it. You just take it. It's so easy. Easier than snatching a lollipop from a baby.
I'm really trying to keep a straight face. Okay. Hiya. We shall discuss that one. Before I ask you your take on Miguna, let me throw this in there. There are people who always bring your past to your present, the past mistakes that you've made, and they always just find a way to throw them in there. Any word for them. Because like now when you're going to run, let's say for example you're running for president, you want to run for governor or for any other seat, people always say, no, but Babu Owino, no. He was this, he was this, he was that, he was this. What did you say about that?
Obinna, everyone has a skeleton in their closet.
Yeah.
The Bible says that no man is righteous. And Obinna, your past defines your future. And things happen for a reason, for a season. There's a time and a season for everything, says the Bible in Ecclesiastes 3. And therefore, whoever has never sinned should be the first person to take this stone and stone this woman, said Jesus Christ in the Bible. I will leave it at that.
All righty. Miguna. Yeah, now let's make it entertaining. Yes.
I lack so much words to express about Miguna, but what I can say is that there's a man with little knowledge, but he uses it maximally. Number two, Miguna has exaggerated sense of self-worth. Only those two.
You don't believe Miguna is knowledgeable?
How?
That gentleman speaks with the date stamps and time, and he has information.
Does he speak like the way I've spoken about this finance bill? Can he speak like that?
Okay, I've not discussed the finance bill with him.
Call him and now weigh the two. Because if we talk about law, I can talk about everything that he knows about law. But when it comes to any other ail of life, when it comes to actual science, economics, history, can he? He's just loud. He's hiding all that ignorance in his loudness. Nothing else.
I don't want beef with Miguna.
There's no beef. There's nothing he can do. And by the way, doctors are from strike, so he should take his medicine very soon from the doctors because hapa ni chizi huyo bwana.
Aya. So in conclusion, so we're wrapping this up nice and slow. When the finance bill comes through, how are you gonna be voting?
Definitely I will vote no.
Okay.
And if the Kenya Kwanza government makes a mistake to pass the finance bill, we are definitely moving to court. I will lead that process.
Okay.
I'm also going to bring amendments to the finance bill on several of the issues that we've raised here.
Okay.
And generally, Kenyans don't deserve being punished. They don't deserve being punished by this government. Just by being a Kenyan, you don't deserve being punished. People should be proud of being Kenyans.
Okay.
Yes.
So the demos that are happening on Tuesday, so in case they see this interview later, so today is Monday, so we're saying it's actually already Tuesday. It's 45 minutes past midnight because we were to go live from 10 p.m. and then we've been frustrated. The streams are not working and everything, but somehow we've decided to record it, and we've also streamed live on your Facebook.
Yes.
But also we recorded it and then we're going to post it as well on YouTube as well. Mambo ni live, Mambo ni full live. So the demos that are happening later today, that's Tuesday, in Parliament from 12 noon, do you support them?
You know, Obinna, we say Vox Populi, Vox Dei. The voice of God, the voice of the people is the voice of God. Vox Populi, Vox Dei.
Vox Populi,
Vox Dei.
Vox Dei.
The voice of the people is the voice of God.
Okay.
The people should demonstrate because it is their constitutional right. Okay? should be treated with contempt that it deserves. Because these are the people who are paying those members of parliament. The clothes that we wear are paid by the people. The cars that we drive are paid by the people. The houses that we live in are paid by the people. The food that we eat are paid by the people. Therefore, we must work for the people. And the people must be given an opportunity to express their anger and hunger at the same time. Why would a member of parliament not vote against this bill? Why? Why do they want to please their master?
They've been paid, some of them.
To the detriment of their people? How much is that amount worth it? Is it worth it? It is not worth it. Let us not betray the people. And I urge the members of parliament to vote against this finance bill. And whoever does not vote against the finance bill, I urge the people not to re-elect these members of parliament and in any other position that they want to go for.
Yeah.
Not to elect them in those positions. Because we need, the people are the supreme. We are but servants. The Bible says that for you to lead, then you must serve. A leader must be a servant. He who wants to be first amongst yourselves must agree first to be the last one. Must serve. That is why Jesus Christ washed the feet of his disciples to show servant leadership. So we must serve. So people should demonstrate. We will support them. As we will be debating in parliament, they should put pressure outside parliament. I mean, support.
Then you'll just see tear gas, and you'll be like, okay, why are we tear gassing people, and these people are just here to fight for their rights? As a Kenyan citizen, I've brought an intellectual to break down the finance bill for myself. I don't support it. I don't like it. I don't want it as is. Let's amend it. Let's do better. I'm not in support. All right. Thank you so much for coming through, Mheshimiwa. And thank you for the eye-opening information that you've given us on this particular episode. Hii imekuwa serious. Umeona mpaka hapa kucheka tumepunguza. However, I wanted to ask you, just before we wrap up, hiyo ni kolon gani? Bwana sijisikii. Kwani, and then nasikia kananipiga na wave. Hua. Hiyo ni kolon gani?
Hii ni geisha bwana. Sabuni ya geisha.
Oh,
hii ni geisha.
I need to find you bwana unipatie sabuni bwana. Hey, what I feel? I feel it's in you. There's something inanigonga hua, then inapita hivi, then inanigonga hua. I'm just like,
Obinna, if you are a leader and you're working for the people,
yeah,
even your sweat will smell nice.
Here's your pen.
Thank you.
Asante sana. Thank you for coming through. And thank you for honoring the invite, and thank you for being patient with us, with all the happenings for today. And nimejua umezoea. Sisi kinaweza kuturamba. Kimeweza kuturamba. Now guys, that means we are becoming successful. When the government is fighting you, you're doing the right thing. Viva! Freedom is coming! So you guys who are watching, also support us by subscribing, liking and commenting. And this particular episode, share it with everybody on your phone book. Let them know what's gonna happen if we happen to pass the finance bill. And also if your MP passes the finance bill, tunawaona, si ndio?
Kabisa.
Thank you so much. God bless you, Mheshimiwa.
Asante Obinna.
Asante.
Mungu akubariki.
Asante sana.